I'm amazed of character developments. I always opine that when there are a lot of characters, always choose television over film because of the screen time. But in Gulmohar, this problem does not look to exist. Hey everyone, the Dark Knight is here. The Batras have lived in Gulmohar villa for 34 years and now they have decided to move. The patriarch passed away a long time ago, so his wife Arun Batra ran the family. During the final days at Gulmohar, Arun Batra and his wife discovers the will with shocking revelations and read it to the entire family. Gulmohar is a family drama that has an extraordinary take on a typical setup of an Indian family. According to Kusum, the house was built on relationships, but not on bricks and mortars. But the ground realities are obviously different with the presentation of 3 generations folded in confused life decisions, burning compromises, abhorrence of a will, and discerning ambitions, visibly indicating that the Batras are no less than a tumultuous family and have an unstable household. Although the film has similar elements like other family dramas, what disconnects this film from the others is the situation in which all the Batras have to breathe out their ever-growing and never-ending problems. And relating and growing all this in a 130-minute film is very challenging. Challenge accepted by Rahul V. Chitela, who marks his feature-length debut as a director. And I must say that I'm really impressed the way he has managed the writing of the film with Arpita Mukherjee. I'm amazed of character developments. I always opine that when there are a lot of characters, always choose television over film because of the screen time. But in Gulmohar, this problem does not look to exist. The film was never linear about the growing tensions within the family, despite the fact that the whole family were enjoying one last party in the opening sequence. But Gulmohar smartly grew its story on the audience. We can watch a magnificent portrayal of the youth frustration over their careers, priorities, and relationships. And the interesting frustration is watching a toxic relation between father and son. Just like the one that starts with Arun offering lift to his son but refusing, and then Arun drops a banger on him to make him sit in his car when he says, "If you're that rich, pay me." There is another line that has a very good shot when Arun is speaking to Kamal and then he looks at a very old man and says, "Sometimes I think though we live in the same house, we don't know each other." This looks a hard line using philosophy with old age. If you carefully notice, there is unnecessary taunting between the characters. For example, Kamal taunts his son for reading and following an ideology by reading a book before the start of dinner. The father had a point, but there is a way of addressing it, but not taunting. Then Arun spoils the mood in the party by taunting his son for not living with them. And later, Kusum also recognizes that an irritating habit like taunting has been running in the Batra family. And this is why I call it unnecessary taunting, and it is highly accurate. I feel Gulmohar's screenplay made an error in shocking the audience. Now, this is a spoiler alert if you are still willing to watch this film, so hear me out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arun Batra turns out to be an adopted child when Sudhakar reminds his son Kamal about his adoption, and later Kusum shares her life story with her grandchild. Later in the film, Arun and his wife discovers a will that Arun reads it to the entire family, where he breaks to everyone that he was adopted. It would have been one of the best shocking moments in any Indian film in recent years if this discovery was found out straight when Arun reads the will. This piece of information could have easily been skipped during Sudhakar's and Kusum's those sequences. Rahul V. Chitela gave us some striking scenes like Jeetu complaining about Reshma's friend that tenses him to sulking, Adi and Divya exchanging unpleasant conversation more than once, Arun losing his mind after reading the letter. But the most jaw-dropping scene was when Arun reads the will to everyone that brings an unexpected panic in relations. The film had its touchy moments too. like Jitu and Reshma carrying the box, young Kusum and her love mate spending desperate times in wonderful film editing, Arun finally finding courage to meet his real father, when Divya breaks Adi's interview to encourage about their lives. But my favorite moment of the entire film was when Arun returns to his mother to celebrate Holi. The way Kusum opens her arms for her son will bring tears in the eyes. Yeah, I also had tears in my eyes. Come on. Okay, I am a critic, but that doesn't mean I cannot have emotions. It was a beautiful scene. Maybe I mistaken or missed, but when and how did Arun discover his birth father? He had spotted that old man before he got to know that he was adopted. If I'm right, that is a massive, massive plot hole. Besides, the film was pretty meticulous and shed light on micro-detailing like Arun's hand shaking after holding the pen, and later on while reading the will, a very torn old file that contains housing documents, etc. The film missed no chance in impressing the audience with some delightful performances. Legendary actress Sharmila Tagore returned to the screen after 13 years, but I felt she was not up to the mark. One-dimensional facial expressions, plus the dialogue deliveries mostly felt like actually reading the script. Like I said before, she only touched my feelings when Arun returns to her. I do not understand. For the portrayal of Kusum's younghood, why was Soha Ali Khan not considered? At 45, she looks very young enough to play her mother's young version. Manoj Bajpayee gives another stellar performance. This time the character was very tensed, suffered episodes of anxiety, there were signs of Parkinson's disease, and then had to deal with the unwanted supreme level shock of his life and seeking courage for a reunion of a lifetime. Manoj as Arun is every 50-plus old man facing all sorts of troubles altogether. Suraj Sharma. Why don't you show up so often? I think this is my first Bollywood experience with Suraj Sharma since watching Filori. His body language is intact for the character stuck in a very complicated situation, and he has nailed that performance again. I think Simran was the winner along with Manoj Bajpayee, a terrific supporting role that held control on the character, avoiding to suffocate unfortunate incidents. It is always a pleasure to see Amol Palekar, but my complaint is, why does he not act so often? Since 1986, Amol Palekar has worked in only 5 films in 38 years. The audience deserves to see that man in old age working in quality films more frequently. I want to praise the makers of the film for their utmost effort and giving a terrific product. Superb editing throughout the film. Is this the first Bollywood outing of Siddhartha Khosla? That is really exciting to see that now he is contributing to the Indian cinema. I know his music from Only Murders in the Building. I know he is most popular for This Is Us. But unfortunately, I haven't watched that show. My bad. But you can listen to his brilliant score for the film. Gulmohar struck the right chords for family drama and is apt for understanding the essence of stabilizing the family roots. It has a craft that relates us to our struggle and feeling shattered and hopeless. The film successfully shows us the value of trusting and not giving up on life. Kusum explains to her grandchild that all her life during different phases she reasoned herself that things didn't meant to be until it meant to be. See, I'm not saying that Gulmohar's life lesson is the ultimate one, but it motivates you to seek your life goal and learn the lesson from it. Your life lessons may alter in later stages of life, and one may happen to think that something that wasn't meant to be was actually meant to be, and vice versa. All I can tell you is search yourself in this small world. When you find one day, that is happiness. I'm Sharmila.